All right, Jalen Hurts here gets started with a good game rushing, only 152 yards passing, but he took the two in on the ground. Two touchdowns for him. Justin Herbert got off to a good game too, 318, three passing touchdowns, right? Getting some good part on him. Hey, that helps bring along these two receivers. Quentin Johnston's two touchdowns, 79 yards, probably is available in your league. We'll see how he goes. Crowded there. Lad McConkey, of course, got in the game too, 74 yards receiving. So, hey, and Keenan Allen's a bright spot. And Trey Harrison, the rookie, kind of got in there too. So, passing game for them. How about Mahomes and to the losing quarterbacks? Patrick Mahomes was out there trying. He got in there, 258 yards, one patch. Hey, just run out of luck eventually, right? How about Dak Prescott? Well, kind of a rough game for him. Only 188 yards passing, no touchdowns. Had a rough game, but we knew he was going to have a rough schedule here. And you had CD pitch in for 110, right? And George Pickens here pitched in for a little bit too, only 30 yards. Hey, we talked about it. He's not that. They had him ranked up to 20th. I mean, come on, CD Lamb out there, going. You got to have battle against him. Javonte Williams, right? Hey, he showed up. Dallas's running back, right? Two touchdowns, 54 yards. He's the game in town, right? Of course, Jaden Blue here was a scratch. Coach's decision, didn't play. Miles Sanders played, had that 53-yard, and he fumbled, right? So, hey, we're probably looking at Javonte Williams for a while. This Maffa was out for the game, too. He was on IR, not for 4 weeks, so it's going to be a lot of Javonte, right? So keep an eye on him. Of course, one of the big news here, well, Hampton and Najee got off to a start here. Najee only got in one carry for 5 yards. They're going to pay. And this was Omarion Hampton's chance here. 48 yards rushing, 13 receiving, but no touchdowns. So it's going to get crowded next week. More of a share. Najee's going to get a little bit more. See how they do next week. Hey, so what can we build off of this? Well, Xavier Worthy takes a shot early, right? Hey, that little bitty 165 pounds. You just don't. I mean, hey, that's going to shake things up here on the wide receiver list. They've already got him questionable for next week, it says. But hey, we'll see about that. So, Juice Schuster. Hollywood Brown was getting a lot of action, had 100 yards. But did you see that? It 16 attempts on him. Something crazy. All right, so you had him going too. So we're gonna have to look in here. There's gonna be possible people like Thornton and this Juju to look over, see what's available out there. Let's get started. Look. All right, I guess some of the big news here is the Christian McCaffrey scare. Is he going to be ready? Is he going to be not? He's currently listed as injured. Is he questionable? And it says here he's questionable. Did not practice on Friday. Maybe they're just saving him. That'd be big. Of course, Brian Robinson Jr. here too. Brought in to be the new number 2 might get called upon early. How about Christian Kirk? Christian Kirk shows up hurt, right? Imagine that. Missed a lot of time last year. He's out with the hamstring. It says possible return week 2. They're being safe with him. I don't know. So they're going to have to be doing some passing here. Kind of a rough schedule here, but Nico Collins gets more focus. And Higgins here, but Jalen Noel, that rookie's going to be coming in here. Sounds good. Christian Kirk sounding good in the slot, right? So Jalen, Kirk said that Jalen's ready. Ahead of the curve here. He was one of the high picks they had in the NFL draft here. So might get some early action. This Noel here, I'm sure he's available. I'm sure Higgins might be available too. So a lot of people are going to rush out and get him on the Christian Kirk news. But, he might not get as big as bump as you think because Noel's going to play the slot where Kirk plays. So he'll flash probably more than Higgins. He got a tough game against the Rams, right? How about the Packers here? Is Jaden Reed going to make it into the game, right? Christian Watson, we don't know about him. But hey, so Jaden Reed's injury, of course, is questionable with that foot. Been trying to get him ready. Hey, it's going to be a slow start for possibly him, right? And Christian Watson isn't going to make it either. He's out, right? So you got Jaden Reed out. They got the number 5 easy schedule this week. Of course, their Matthew Golden's going to be the one, and Dobbs. So, hey, I mean, Romeo Dobbs may be available, and he might flash here early. We'll look at the who's available here in a minute. But, hey, there's some injury news there. Mooney and Worthy. Of course, Mooney, is he going to play? Hey, he's pretty well needed for them, too. Hey, questionable with his shoulder, right? Limited practice. Well, hey, without him, it's Ray McLeod, Casey Washington. I mean, Drake London's going to be getting primetime action, of course, there against Tampa. You know, that's scheduled pretty easy for him, you know, for Mooney, but it'll also be for, how about Worthy here? This is the big one. So we're going to be going over it. It's too late now. You can't make any moves on Kansas City because they played, but it'd be Juju, Thornton. Maybe this Royals gets into the action, right? He was out, inactive, knee, but hey, we'll see how long it's before he's back. He could be playing to it along with that Thornton and Juju, I guess. You know, so hey, Jalen Wright's going to be out. All right. Well, what's his? He's out. So that, of course, make sure that it's Ollie Gordon. But hey, what you see here is there is no injury report for Devon Achane or Tyreek Hill. They were both flashing on there, but there is no injury report for them. Of course, Darren Waller is going to be, I guess, out. What is that? And Darren Waller is red flashing too, so hey, watch out for him. San Francisco, of course, the receivers, Watkins, you know, hey, he's doubtful, right? He's not going to probably play. So you got him, and you got Juwan Jennings is back though. So hey, that's not going to create a lot of space there. You got Jennings and Pearshaw both uninjured and ready to go. I guess that calf was more of a contract ploy there. How about, of course, Isaiah Likely here? Hey, he gonna miss. That makes more opportunities for Mark Andrews, right? Well, you're gonna have him in there anyway if you drafted him, you know. So hey, be watching out for him. How about this Bears running back, right? Mongali. Looks like he is going to be a question mark here. They got him questionable. So hamstring. That just leaves more. I mean, hey, look at that. Everybody's questionable or hurt for the Bears except Swift here. Got a kind of a tough schedule game here, though. You know, going up against the Minnesota. So, hey, that'd be, of course, Addison's out. And, you know, and we got the Tampa. So Addison, of course, is out. But, hey, Justin Jefferson's off the injury list. They have Adam Thielen and Naylor's off the list, too. No injury for either of them. So J.J. McCarthy has a pretty good group of wide receivers to work with. You know, so, hey, he's going in there against, of course, the Chicago. So there's a couple of injuries out of the first games or reported and seeing who you can pick up. Let's go and look who's available out there. All right, I quickly pulled what's out there on my 12-team league to see who's out there. Of course, Quentin Johnston's out there, right? Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 79 yards. And Jahanny Dotson, both, you know, hey, yeah, he got a great day, 2 touchdowns, 79, but it's crowded there. Ladd McConkey's still number 1. Keenan Allen flashed good, right? 68 yards and a touchdown, so he's going to be out there. So Quentin Johnston, who's might be third, and Trey Harris and this Lambert played in the game. So you can't, even though we can't take him now until waivers as runs, but hey, him and Dotson's the same story there. No passing out of Jalen Hurts, right? A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, even though Dotson led him, you're not going to go there, right? So, hey, but where you will go, and after we got to wait because these guys played, but this Juju and Thornton here is going to make some noise, right? Juju got the 55 yards, and Thornton, you know, he's going to be the deep threat there, especially with Worthy out, right? But we can't pick any of those until then. So, hey, I noticed Kareem Hunt was out there on my waiver wire too. Well, not until you can pick them. Like I said, all right, let's go to the ones that are available and hasn't played here. Of course, I'm going to say something about my favorite, Deontay Thornton Jr. I picked him up as my last pick. I'm going to go over my drafts, go on the record of who I took at the end of this video real quick. In case you're interested, stick around for that. You know, hey, you know, I like him there. Hey, Jacoby Myers isn't a happy camper. They've already said he's starting, you know. Kind of get off a rough start at New England. So, hey, he might still be out there next week. But you keep going. Hey, Naylor here. Of course, Minnesota, Thielen. They picked him up. Naylor's, the good news here is Naylor's no injuries. Justin Jefferson, no injuries. So the only one now that show even flashes injury is Addison. So J.J. McCarthy has 3 competent receivers with Naylor and the pack. So, hey, you're not going to get anything here. I mean, Naylor, you won't pick him up because of Adam Thielen. Now, the Adam Thielen thing does create a problem. Carolina made the move, traded Adam Thielen. That leaves them a little short at wide receiver, right? You have a former number 1 pick here sitting on my waiver wire. Of course, he was the number 1 pick, 32nd. But hey, it still counts as a number 1, or first round pick. So, hey, the problem is there, of course, this Coker on IR to week 5. So he was, of the ones out there, he's kind of tempting, right? Easy schedule here. Number 3 schedule going at Jacksonville. They might be behind, needing to pass. He'll flash. And if they don't, anybody, he's out there next week, they'll be picking him up. He'll be leading probably. Hey, Noel. So I don't know if Higgins is available. I looked, we're deep 12. But in yours, they may not. He might still be out there. And the problem there is, of course, that Jalen Noel is more the slot receiver that would replace Christian Kirk. Higgins is more of a 2 wide receiver sets with Collins. And Kirk out of the slot. And Noel's probably going to be the one to replace him. He's out there. But, hey, you know, it's going to be they're at the Rams. That's going to be a tough start. So he may not flash early. So, you know, I thought about going out and pick him up. Like I said, I have Josh Downs. I just couldn't make the move. I mean, I'll hold on to Josh Downs, especially since he cleared, you know. Pierce is out there as a wide receiver. Like I said, Josh Downs, which is flashing on the injury report, isn't anymore. So I didn't make the move there. I kept this is the end of your roster, and hey, you just wanting to make a move. So, hey, you probably should wait, hold off. Of course, Calvin Austin. You know, noticed him out there in Wandell. Hey, Calvin Austin, these are a couple of the 2s, right? Right, on his team. And Wandell here. Hey, you know, he's sitting number 2 behind there. You know, in PPR certainly, but in PPR leagues, you probably got him picked up already. Michael Wilson and Palmer here. Josh Palmer. Hey, it's going to be kind of the same thing like Quentin Johnston. Well, we don't know which one of these for Buffalo's going to fire here, do we? All right, could be any in Palmer. Hey, don't forget, they paid a lot of money, brought him in. So, but it's kind of crowded there in Buffalo. We don't know which one, but I just saw him on the list. Hey, a couple more here on the list down here. This Torrey Horton. Now, they got rid of MVS there, right? So he is the number 3. I don't know how much success they'll have early, but I noticed him out there. He might flash this first week a little bit. And here's a good one here. Now, he is injured. Questionable with a hamstring. Limited practiced on Friday, right? We don't know what's going on with them. But, hey, look at it. Swift's by himself up there, right? So, hey, if maybe we can slide and wait on this Mungai, whatever, and see but he's out there too. All right, so that's some of the ones that are out there right now. Hey, let's take a quick look at what I picked to go on the record. All right, let me quickly bring out my 12-team auction lead. So we have 12 teams, 2 quarterbacks. My first spending, it's auction, so I spent almost $40 on Robinson here. You get $100 of salary cap. About $25 on Kyrene Williams. I went heavy at running backs. I really wanted Josh Jacobs, But like I said, if you don't, you can't always take your favorites, and hey, almost the same price. I got Robinson instead. So I ended up with him. But and took Kyrene Williams, expecting a good year. And I took Devon A-Chain. I was kind of risky, but I got 3 really good running backs. You can start them as your flex there, of course. So then, hey, you got to start 2 quarterbacks in this league, and there's 12 teams. There ain't a lot to go around, so I made sure I got some quarterbacks next. I took Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, and J.J. McCarthy. These guys might sound familiar. I got a lot of the people I liked. I would let them fall to me. I didn't go out and reach and spend a lot of money. But that was my first 6. We buy 6 players for $100 per $10, and you got to bid on them. I think I got the quarterbacks here, 9 for Kyler Murray, and then 3 at the end for these 2. I like Caleb Williams. I got him cheap there. My first free pick, as we snaked the rest of it, I got Devontae Adams as my wide receiver 1. I mean, I skated on wide receivers. And then I came back and got my tight end. That couple had been picked. Yeah, I'm sure he was about the 6th or 7th tight end taken. Normally I wait to 10, but I really like that Tyler Ward. So I jumped out a little early and got a tight end there. Of course, and then I got another wide receiver. This is my second one, was Jameson Williams. Thought I stole him there, because a lot of wide receivers had gone. Then I got Golden. So I'm trying to fill out my wide receivers. And I come back and got Charbonnet too. He was left hanging out there. So then I got this Sampson later. And Judkins. I doubled up here with these Cleveland players. Wasn't sure how that was going to work out. So, and Strange is my backup tight end to this Warren. So we carry 2 tight ends as back, And I had Dart here as my backup quarterback too, just a shot in the dark, just to have somebody, right? And Josh Downs was my last pick in that one. Now, that was my team, and this one went heavy at running back here. The first 3 and all the ones alike here. So we'll see how they do. This is my 12 auction. Let's look at my 10 team. All right, next, my 10 team auction league. This is an old league, 47 years it's been around. So someone on the team called ESPN, and they said that it was one of the oldest ones in the country, like 7th oldest continuous. Derrick Henry was my number 1 pick here, I guess. Well, really, we buy first 8. I'll bring out my first 8, which I bought in this league. So we buy 8 for an imaginary salary cap, and you got to buy them. Then we snake after that. Well, I spent the most on Derrick Henry. I mean, hey, I got him relatively cheap compared to the other running backs. He was about the 4th or 5th highest running back. And I did get Josh Jacobs. I was after him. I got him kind of cheap. Came down to me and my other buddy, and he didn't have any money left. I had enough left. Fortunately, we waited and waited, and he didn't come out till late, so I had the money left. I got James Cook as another running back. James Conner. Obviously, here I'm going running back heavy. I didn't even buy a wide receiver. And that's in the first 80 picks have gone. A lot of people were picking up wide receivers. I didn't get any. But I do got quite the running back, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, James Cook here. Right? Picked him up relatively cheap. I thought people were skating on him. So, hey, he is one of the better teams. James Conner. And I took a chance, Kenneth Walker. I didn't pay much, guys. He slid to me. And this sets up a nice one in each league. I got Zach Charbonnet in the other one. So, hey, one of them's going to pay dividends, possibly. I then picked up some quarterbacks here, Goff, C.J. Stroud, and Trevor Lawrence, just to get some quarterbacks. They were all cheap because I'd spent all my money on running backs here. You can see here, went kind of wide receiver light. All right, here started the snaking where we started going for freebies. You snake back and forth. I took my first wide receiver, Calvin Ridley. I hope he gets up. He's going to have a rough start this first week. And I didn't even start him this first week because he's got a bad matchup. But I did take Golden. That's one I don't like taking same guys. You noticed here I don't have any repeats. This is my first repeat of taking one in both leagues. I don't like doing it because, hey, you lose them both. How about Smith? I took him. He's my third wide receiver. I actually played him. Didn't get many points out of him. Played him last night. Ugh. or was it the night before? Anyway, all coming together here. Diggs, I reached for a wide receiver. Mooney, I'm just reaching at this point for wide receivers because I pretty well skated. So I'm going to go into the year with just 5 wide receivers, and Calvin Ridley and Matthew Golden probably going to be my better. Or maybe I'm hoping on Diggs to come on. He's the number 1 there, right? I mean, hey, and if you're going to get something out of Drake May, great. Next year, it's going to be have to be helped by Diggs. So anyway, I got Diggs there. I was hoping he'll come through, and I picked up another dart here, and of course I picked up this Ollie Gordon here too towards the end. I do have Devon A-Chain in the other league, so it sets up another one league blues, one benefit, and Thornton Jr. Right, I went out and took him last because I need wide receiver help, and I'm hoping on him to be the wild card long shot there. And that's about it. So that's who I took here. Mostly running back heavy, so I'm going to be hurting for wide receivers. But I got a lot of the players I liked and have talked about. But I wanted to go on record, let you guys know who I had. So, what about the kickers? All right, real quick on my kickers. I, of course, did a kicker show and told you to get out there and get Brandon Aubrey early. Take that kicker. And because, earlier than they normally take him because he's worth I didn't get him. An 80-year-old sitting next to me in my one draft got off quicker than I did. And then the other guy I thought just paid too much. So I couldn't get him in either league. I took Fairborn in one and Dicker, the one I had going last night, kicking for me. So those were my 2 kickers. So anyway, you never can always works out. Hey, don't get that like and subscribe. Hey, watch out for my waiver wire coming this Tuesday. I promise a good show.